The Thursday Afternoon Chat. Your favorite artists with Jayar.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, please put your little paws together unless you're driving for today's guest, a first timer on the show. Do we have a button or some confetti or music to place? No? Nobody? It's Josh Baldwin. Thank you for joining here today.
Thank you for having me.
I'm a worship nut, so anytime I can get the I think because I got some of your labels, they the audience, the faces of, because Christian music does not have TMZ or MTV back in the day where everybody knew the artist's faces. We don't have that in faith-based.
Yeah.
So to say, I'm with Joel Houston of Hillsong United, the audience is like, I know
Who's
Mighty
that?
to Save, but I don't know this Joel guy. We don't have front faces,
Right.
It's all about the songs to me. But Stand in Your Love has been one of those songs that is like peanut butter on the roof of your mouth. You're like, I think I like that. And then you find you love it.
Yeah.
Because it's got a singability in the chorus, and that's just one of those great songs. So we're gonna play it in just a second.
Wow.
I know it's been out for a while.
That's the best description of it I've ever heard, though.
Peanut butter on the roof of your
peanut butter
mouth.
on the roof of your mouth.
Yeah, it's there, and it won't go away.
Yes, that was my prayer. Lord, just nag people with this song for years.
Well, it works.
Yeah.
Let's do with all the interviews. We've never really done this before until this year, giving you an opportunity to pick the background setting where we do this interview.
Oh.
So I'm going to give you three options, and you pick which one you would like to do.
Okay.
Italian Vineyard,
Okay.
Great Barrier Reef, or space.
Outer space. Space, yeah.
All right. When I hit this button,
Okay.
there you go. What do you think?
This is beautiful.
Yeah.
Honestly, I've never been in outer space, so this is...
Oh, this isn't like a return trip. You're like, I remember.
This is great.
I remember. Yeah, not a lot's changed.
Yeah. Oh, no, I was over there once. I remember that. Just right around that star.
I like what they've done over here.
Yeah. And they cleaned over here. It's really nice.
Oh, that's great. One of the options we were going to do was the moon, but I'm like, is there still junk? Like, I don't want junk in the background.
No, it's dirty there.
Yeah. And,
It would jack with my
Allergies.
OCD and allergy. I honestly, allergies.
Are there seasonal allergies on the moon? I don't know.
I don't know.
I
mean, if there are, I'll find them. That's
yeah.
my nose.
Let's lead off going into I know the song's been out for a long time, but it's still, as I was telling you, it's still such a great song. Because we've not talked about it, how did Stand in Your Love come to be? Writing.
Yeah. Well, it's actually a really long story that I.
Oh, we got time. I'm in outer space, Josh. I'm going nowhere.
Yeah, there's no sense of time out here, so I'd love to just float around and tell you all about this. The whole thing started. I was taking a trip down to Dallas with my friend, who, funny enough, I was on that trip because he broke his leg and was leading worship, but needed me to come and help just carry things.
That's like the bottom of a musician. That's the totem pole. To carry another musician's stuff.
Yes. And he had punctured a lung, so he wasn't even sure if he was going to be able to sing a lot. So he's like, and you can lead with me too. So I was like, let's do it. Yeah. So I did that. The next day I stayed over to write with some friends of mine, Rita Springer and Mark Harris, and who are at Gateway Church that time.
Yeah.
And I was writing with them, and they had people writing with them for that day for their worship album. And this guy walks in the door, and just that evening, and he was his name was Ethan, and he was like about to catch a flight, but he had come from Nashville, and he was like just telling everybody bye, and he was like, dude, I have this like idea that I think it sounds like you. Can I just like throw it out, and then I got to get out of here and catch my flight? And I was like, sure. And I have no idea who this guy is, but I was like, yeah. And so he sings like kind of the gist of the beginning of the chorus to Stand in Your Love, and it just hit me. And it was my fear doesn't stand a chance, and then it didn't even finish the same way.
Yeah.
But it was just that alone, my fear doesn't stand it. And the way he sang it, I was like, oh, that's like grab and hold. Yeah. And so he had like 20 minutes. We sat down and we messed around with it then. And then I went back home to Redding, California, and finish the bridge, but it started to become well. In the verses, I was like, how can we say this? I mean, this is a message that's been out, obviously, fear, perfect love, casting out fear, and but I was like, how can we say it in like a everyday kind of language? You know, just in the verses, just like darkness rolls over my, but like, what do I feel when I don't really feel like I believe that? How can I talk about that in a song and it still be, you know, okay, like applicable and people can actually lead it at their church. But so that was like, I mean, that was just specifically practically how it started. But I remember that next Sunday I'd led it at church at Bethel, and I was still like unsure. I'm like, I don't know. But that moment was like, okay, this is something special. This feels like immediately they just, you know, called on.
Because the song has it's not a surprise to me that you really felt the specialness once it got into corporate.
Yeah.
Because something about the song, when you hear multiple people singing that chorus, something special happens, like it's activated.
Yeah.
More than, you know,
Yeah.
if it wasn't. Not every song has that, but that
No,
one.
that was totally it. I was like, I had heard people and I even changed the bridge after that just to fit to I mean, just to fit people's voices singing together on, if that makes sense. It was just like, oh no, it needs to shift this way, and just.
Did the dude from the airport ever come back to claim his 9 cents on the dollar?
I've never seen him again. No, I have.
Should I edit that out?
So that guy, his name's Ethan Hulse, and since then. Yeah. We've written a lot. We became really good friends. We wrote Evidence together, another song that, and so, he's. I definitely was like,
so you exchanged numbers.
You need to be my friend. We exchanged numbers.
Give me your MySpace, bro.
Yeah, listen, what's your top song on MySpace?
Can I be in your top 8 friends?
Seriously.
Yeah.
Wow, no one's gonna get that.
No.
Well,
we're in space again.
Actually,
so
that's true.
It frees us up to do whatever.
We're in MySpace.
Josh Baldwin is my guest, first timer on the show. He's chosen to do this interview in outer space. So if you are on the Jayar Show, Instagram, Facebook, all that, you'll see, it's us.
I might just do all my interviews in outer space from now on.
This is going to be a trend people are going to pick up on.
It's so much lighter up here, honestly.
Did you have a second choice for on the list?
No, I love it here, but I've always
I love it here.
Yeah, no,
You're taking this really realistic.
No, hey, we're gonna do this. Let's do this.
You want to go somewhere else?
I mean, I've never been to Paris.
All right, let's do it. Grab a moon rock. Let's get out of here. A moon rock floating in space.
We're not on the moon.
Okay.
We specifically said space. No, not on the moon. Here's the thing, though. My wife has always wanted me to take her to Paris, so she's gonna be really bummed to find out that I went without her and took you.
We'll try to make.
I took Jayar. Here's the thing. I brought Jayar with me before I took you, sweetie. Here's the thing.
You might be just a little bit younger. We're kind of in that same potential age range.
Oh, I doubt it. I bet I'm older than you.
44.
Oh no, I'm 40. I'll be 42 in July.
Wow, this feels great.
Yes.
I'm just breathing in this feeling right now. But like I was dragged to church.
Yeah.
You know, and it was Maranatha, and it was.
Oh yeah. Hosanna.
Who's that guy from the UK? Grant.
Oh my gosh. What is?
Yes, Graham Kendrick.
Yes, Graham Kendrick.
That was all there was, and people doing their spins on hymns. And now for this just between Bethel and Elevation and Hillsong, all these great songs that the church can sing. It's different from when we were kids.
It is. No, it is different, and it's. I mean, I remember. And when people ask me like, well, how did you get into this, or what were your dreams as a kid, and I'm like, nobody dreamed about being a worship leader for a living in the 80s and 90s. I mean, if you did, it was like, how can I barely make it and barely support my family?
Lincoln Brewster has holes in his jeans. This is crazy.
I mean, it just wasn't, that wasn't a thing. It wasn't like a career. Which, maybe it was more pure in some ways back, but I think it's been amazing. I think it's amazing because I remember being a teenager and in my 20s and getting into like writing songs and not just leading other people's songs in worship, but actually, trying to write my own songs and trying to write songs for our church. And then thinking, man, I wish like this is like our desire for every church to be able to do, you have things inside of you that, and now it's like, I feel like we're on the other side where it's like it's happening. Yeah. I mean, there's like new songs all the time. There's churches big and small, just
Yeah.
putting out their own
You
music.
can record it.
Yeah.
And you think it's good.
Yeah, sounds good, sounds great.
Yeah.
It's all coming. And so it is crazy. We're living in a time that's like, worship's like this whole,
Yeah.
I hate to say genre, but I mean, it kind of has become that.
Yeah.
And, which, can have its own problems and things
Yeah.
and things
Well,
you
we've
have to
got
navigate.
our own side channel now.
Yeah.
Joy Worship.
That's right. Yeah.
Because it's so good. We needed a place to just put it all.
Right. I think the like the pull and the hunger that people are just exuding is like pulling in that desire to have something like, okay, we need this. This is not just, and people are, maybe they're even their attention span for like songs and is lasting a little longer because naturally worship songs, a lot of them are long, and it's just like, to me, that's very refreshing, and I love the hope that
when I'm having
breathes on it.
a hopeless day, miserable day, and this is no bash against my own station, but if I was to choose against, playing a Toby Mac song, I need straight vertical worship in this moment, or I'm gonna die.
Oh, totally.
And if you can just flip that on, God, I think that's why God gave us music, is to be able to commune with Him in such a way.
Yeah.
It's special. It's something that nobody else on the dial can do.
Yeah.
Country, top 40, they can't do that.
Yeah. I love the singer song. I love the songs that meet me where I am, remind me, oh yeah, I'm not the only one. I'm not alone. Like this, everybody goes through hard times. I think that's great. But then, there's something about worship that just gets our eyes off ourselves and immediately just like, okay, here's how I'm gonna address this problem. Yeah. I'm just gonna I'm gonna look to Jesus and just go vertical, Yeah. And nothing can take the place of just looking straight into His eyes. So
before I got one more question for you, but this is one of the only interviews we've been bouncing around to different locations. For those that are watching this on on Instagram, Facebook, and the like, you're gonna find that our background setting has been changing. How would you like to have one more before my last question? Where do you want to go?
I'd love to go somewhere else.
I'm tired of this one.
Honestly, yeah.
How about the Great Wall of China?
Okay, I've never been there. Let's do it.
Either have I. Your wife's gonna be so mad.
Yeah, she's gonna be. She hasn't. You know what? She's never said she wanted to go to the Great Wall of China, so she might be okay with this.
All right, here we go.
Let's go.
All right, here we are.
Wow.
Let's get into this question here.
That is a great wall.
Yeah, it's really long. My father worked at a grocery store for 40 years.
Okay.
Hated it, but it's the only thing he did. Changing the price tags on everything in the store was his job. And so there weren't many perks. Like maybe if I went to the grocery store after closing time for a kid to run the aisles alone, that's the perk of my parents' job. What was it for you that you can think of? One perk, I get to.
That's easy.
Yeah.
I didn't know where you were going with that, but that was wow. That's a great question.
This isn't my first rodeo, Josh.
I thought we were about to go deep. And one night at the grocery store, I was like, oh gosh,
there was an intruder.
He's gonna ask me to pray for him. No, okay. So my dad's a pastor.
Okay.
And I grew up in church. And one of the perks as the preacher's kid is we had this lady who would make the homemade bread for our communion. Yeah. Every time we had communion. And
that's like real Last Supper stuff.
Yeah. It was a little bit, because it wasn't great bread at the Last Supper. You know, unleavened, is that what it is?
Bang, bang.
But she would make like homemade, like North Carolina country in the South bread. And it was amazing. Yeah. And we'd always have leftovers. And so I would just be in the kitchen in the back, just drinking the grape juice and eating that communion bread. And I honestly just thought, none of the other kids get to do this. It's because I'm a PK. I can do whatever I want around here. I run this place.
That is the best answer to this question.
That was the first thing that popped in my head, because what kind of perks do you have as a pastor's kid? I mean,
communion.
Bro. Yeah. Fellowship with the Lord back there, just me and the Lord. And she, you know what? She also made cinnamon rolls, homemade cinnamon rolls. And so she would do it.
For communion?
No. Okay. Yeah. Hey, it's the South.
What are we?
We do what we want.
Okay, I think we can be done here because I got everything I wanted out of this. Oh, man. First timer on the show, Josh Baldwin. We'll obviously let the audience know whenever you put out some new music, and it's been a great first hang. Let's do this again.
I would love it.
The Thursday Afternoon Chat. Your favorite artists with Jayar.